Hello, my friends. Welcome in or welcome back. Before we get into your reading today, I have a couple of special announcements. Today marks the 1-year anniversary of my YouTube channel here. So first, I just want to share a big thank you and a big hug to all of you out there who have supported this channel over the year through your likes, comments, subscribes, shares, donations, views, however you are supporting me. Thank you so much. It has been such a pleasure to bring you tarot readings that offer you clarity and guidance along your spiritual journey. Now that I'm feeling a little more established as a tarot reader and have an idea of my style, I thought it would be an appropriate time to give the channel a new name and design a new logo that was rich in meaning and symbolism. With that, I'd like to introduce you to Wandering Soul Tarot. To read more on how I designed this logo and the rich story and symbolism behind the logo mark, head on over to my blog by clicking on the blog link in the description or pinned comment section. And with all of that out of the way, thank you once again. Let's get into your tarot reading. Hello, my friends. Welcome in or welcome back. My name is Amanda, and today we have 3 soul paths to choose from with unique messages from Spirit regarding what is growing or expanding in your life. I was called to do this topic for the anniversary reading because I myself am expanding and growing with this channel. Hello to all of the new subscribers. Welcome. And so I thought it was an appropriate topic for this reading today. If you are ready to get into it, you can find the timestamp for your reading in the description or pinned comment section below. However, if you'd like me to introduce you to the soul paths now, let me do that. For soul path number 1, we have the Empress from the Unfolding Path Tarot with the pink crackle quartz. For soul path number 2, we have the Empress from the Steampunk Tarot with the red carnelian. And for soul path number 3, we have the Empress from the Wild Reflections Tarot with the orange calcite. So when you are ready, use your intuition to choose the soul path that is calling to you the most, then click on the timestamp in the description box or pinned comment to skip to your reading, and we will see you over there. Hello, Soul Path 1. Welcome to your reading. You chose the Unfolding Path Tarot with the pink crackle quartz. And before we get into the tarot, I'm going to pull an opening energy card to get a feel for where you're at this time. Spirit, we're speaking to soul path number 1. Please offer us an energy card to open the reading, please. We have spiritual strength with number 9. This is the 9 of Wands in the traditional tarot. So there is a sense that your spirituality might be growing or expanding in your life. You might be finding new ways to process, to manage stress, to find ways to relax and overcome challenges and adversity in your life at this time. There's a sense that you are looking for some kind of peace, and even I'm hearing play, peace and play, to almost keep away the things that threaten that peace and play. But not in a sense to avoid it or ignore it, but to find respite from anything that might be offering you stress or giving you a feeling of overwhelm. I feel like you're really trying to develop a firm foundation so that you can have more resilience and to be able to face and overcome adversity a little bit easier. So I was going to say, spin your cards. Take your cards for a spin here, and let's see what the tarot has to share today about this message. What is growing or expanding in Soul Path 1's life at this time? Spirit? Could we get 3 or 4 cards for Soul Path 1, please? What is growing or expanding in their life? I get High Priestess energy. 9 of Wands could also be a card that comes out. Could be Hermit card. The Strength card. What else, dear Spirit? 2 more cards, please. Thank you. Too many. Too many. Thank you. I think that one and one more. One more. Thank you. Bottom of the deck. There's your Strength. We have the Strength card, but it is in the reverse position, so we will talk about that. And let's see here. All right. So we have the 6 of Swords in the upright. We have the Ace of Wands in the upright, or reverse, pardon me. The 3 of Swords in the reverse. And the 3 of Wands in the reverse. With the Strength in the reverse. You have 2 3s here. You have a 6. 6s are the actions we take to bring back harmony and balance into our lives. It's a restoration of harmony and balance, and sometimes that harmony and balance doesn't come easy. Decisions must be made, mindsets must be shifted, our movements must change, our decisions and choices must change in order for that balance and harmony to be restored. And the 3s they speak to expansion as well. When we talk about the 3 of Swords, this is about expansion through difficulty, through heartbreak, through painful situations, specifically tied to a love relationship, a partner, a friendship, something that is heart-centered, where we have found ourselves in difficult situations with someone else, possibly a third-party situation, but this expansion happens through pain and heartbreak. And when we think about, say, a teenager and their first love, they say you never get over your first love. However, when you go through that experience as a teen, you do grow and expand immensely going through that experience. You understand yourself a little bit better. You understand love a little bit better and a little more in depth than you did before that relationship. So there's an expansiveness and growth there. It might be painful growth, but it's still growth. And then we have the 3 of Wands in the reverse position. The 3 of Wands in the upright is usually we're taking action. We've not only set our intentions, we've made a plan, and now we're putting forth action towards that plan and waiting to see what happens. This is a bit of an observant moment where we are looking out for the opportunities. We are looking for those things on the horizon that could give us an indication whether or not what we have done and our plans are going to be successful. And then the Ace of Wands is this potential for something new, something passionate, something of desire. I'm getting a sense that with the Strength in reverse that you might not be feeling very confident at this time. You might not be feeling very in control of maybe some of your feelings, thoughts, emotions. Maybe even having a lack of compassion for yourself and what you might be going through at this time. I think that what you might be experiencing could require an immense sense of spiritual strength, as well as mental strength, emotional strength. There's a feeling of maybe a lack of control or lack of leadership or even a lack of pride within oneself at this time, maybe due to circumstances, or that's just a deep feeling within you that you somehow can't seem to shake. But I do sense that whatever you have been doing up to this point, there's something here that's not working. So you really want to take the steps and have the mindset shift in order to move forward and move on. But I feel in order for you to do that, there needs to be an acknowledgement of some of the healing and heartbreak that is maybe not been acknowledged previously, or maybe there's a healing that needs to happen. And I feel like that spiritual strength is something that will help you through this process. And that could be the opportunity that lies in this situation for you that might be a little bit hidden. It is a new seed to plant, to explore something new, to explore something maybe creative or something different, something that's going to spark and ignite your soul, that aligns you to some kind of desire or passion here, that moves you away, or at least helps you find that expansion in your life. I say that, but I feel like with this Six of Swords and the Three of Swords, it's going to be challenging. There's going to be things that you have to overcome within your mind, and there's things within the spirit that needs to be strengthened, could have something to do with the strength, in order to kind of bring those two things together and see that expansion in your life. So it's a combination of not heart and soul, but mind and spirit need to come together in this particular situation. So what does that look like in reality? This is looking at your thought process, the things that you think about yourself, maybe the things that you say within your mind about yourself to yourself. It's those initial thoughts within our mind that kind of runs in the background when certain situations happen, when we are doing something, when we aren't doing something. Because I do feel like Spirit is trying to encourage you to move on from something that is either not working for you, not good for you, or simply is obsolete, is what I'm hearing. But you have to take conscious action and bring awareness to what that is first in order to open up this opportunity. Now, the opportunities might feel exciting, but there will be some obstacles to overcome in order to start seeing that expansion come into play, because right now all of these are in reverse. So I think step one is we have to analyze those things that are holding us back, that are keeping us in tension and stress, and that are really keeping us in this sludgy energy, this low vibrational energy that no longer serves us. And until we are willing to let that go and to have that mindset shift, coming to some kind of radical acceptance of a specific situation, which could be the reason why the strength is in reverse, there's this knowing that you need to make a change or a shift in your life, but you can't for one reason or another. So it's really playing on how you feel about yourself, how you think about yourself, how you see yourself, how you treat yourself. But I feel like once you put your desires, passions, needs, wants first, if only for a temporary time, then I think this is all going to start unlocking for you. There is some healing that will need to be explored during this process, and maybe that's what is, it's not just the actions, but it's the previous or past heartbreaks or pains that haven't been faced or acknowledged or healed in a way that needs to. So then once that is addressed, I feel like this Three of Wands is going to turn upright, and you're going to start seeing how your intentions are playing out, how your plans are playing out, and what opportunities are on the horizon for you. But right now it's all hidden. It's all unknown, possibly to you. It might lie in the subconscious as well, so maybe you subconsciously know that there's more, that you have bigger desires, bigger dreams, bigger passions. But maybe there is fear. Maybe you need to have compassion for self first and not force a specific outcome or result, but be very gentle and flow with whatever this energy is that you are feeling called to. Let's get some clarifiers. Spirit, what is the Six of Swords? Clarify the Six of Swords. Okay, Knight of Cups. This could be a love connection. Somebody who is very charming, very sweet, promises lots of things. This is somebody that follows their heart. So whether that is somebody that you're in connection with, or this is a suggestion for you to follow that heart, move in the direction that your heart is calling you to go in. And again, that could have a lot of tension when it comes to you thinking logically about this, because it could be one of those situations for some of you where on paper this person is great. However, there's something deep in your soul that tells you that this isn't right for some reason. And that could be a number of reasons why this person doesn't feel right for you. And maybe you have an understanding of what that is, and maybe you don't. And maybe that is the energy that needs to be, I don't know, moved away from, or acknowledged, or addressed in some way. Move in the direction of your heart. However, I do want to say that with the Knight of Cups, they can be such a charming energy that it kind of puts our rose-colored glasses on and we can't see anything but the good stuff. And that might not necessarily be great as well. So let's see, Five of Cups. There's definitely something here that needs to be addressed regarding your heart space, regarding your thinking. I think you're internalizing a lot of things as well from whatever experience this is. So you are putting it all on you. It's all your fault. You're blaming yourself. And that could be why the strength is in reverse, is that you feel you don't have the strength to overcome this. You don't have the strength to move on from it because you're still carrying around this grief and guilt. And I feel, again, we talked about once that grief and heartbreak is addressed, I feel like all of these things are going to start expanding in your life. So whether you are currently in this process, which you could be, because we started with the Six of Swords, you could be in this process. So I feel like spiritual growth is happening because you're healing your heart space. You're healing something that has affected your heart. And grief is going to be part of that process, and that is okay. Grief is a release. Crying is a release. Nine of Cups. Yes, it's really clear here, folks, that something really disappointed you here, and maybe you don't want to maybe you don't want to admit something has ended or somebody hurt you in the way that they did, because you thought that they were better than that. You thought that they were kinder than that, sweeter than that. You had such aspirations for whatever this connection might have been. But in the end, it really disappointed you, and maybe you're even disappointed within yourself, about yourself, because of how you moved through this experience, how it ended, and I feel you're really internalizing that, which is why you may feel stuck at the moment if you're not currently moving through this energy of self-compassion and self-forgiveness and relieving yourself of the guilt for what went wrong and what happened. You know, sometimes things happen in relationships that are simply just that. Things happen. And there's nothing that anyone could have done to make it any differently. And we can try to do our best to make things right or work things out, but sometimes that can't happen. So again, coming back to that idea of that radical acceptance of what is and what will never be, that is can be a really tough truth to come into. But we don't want to continue to try with something that is never going to work for us or for the other person. because it might just continue to create pain and heartbreak for ourselves and the other person. It may continue to create baggage that we are carrying around and internalizing as I'm not good enough, or I'm not kind enough, or I'm not strong enough. Whatever you are saying to yourself about this situation, this person, I feel like you're not really happy about where you're at, and you're not really happy with yourself. You want to have that emotional fulfillment. And so I really feel like the growth in your life is happening, but it's happening, or it needs to happen, on a spiritual level first. Let me come back to that. Seven of Pentacles, yeah, in reverse. A lot of reversals here. So I really feel like I get the feeling of somebody really digging their heels in, and it's hard to say, because this moving on energy, this moving on the Knight of Cups is the only upright in the deck here, or in the spread here, and everything else is in reverse. So it's almost like you might not want to see the truth and the connection, the situation, the person, which is preventing you from really seeing whether or not it's working. But I think instinctively, intuitively, you know on a deep level, but there's just maybe something hasn't come to the forefront yet. Maybe a truth hasn't been revealed, or there's an understanding that hasn't come to the surface yet. But I feel that you have some indication that this is not where you'd like to be. And so where are the opportunities for you to expand in your life, to grow in your life? And is this a particular connection that is going to help you get there? And not to say that we should lean on others for that growth. We should be able to do that for ourselves first. So that is why I think that this is kind of a singular journey of looking at that within us first, within our heart, soul, and mind, to see where, kind of a check-in. This feels like a check-in with yourself, your spirit. And you may need to do some spiritual exploration in order to see some kind of growth or expansion that you're looking for in your life. I think that you want to, the Seven of Pentacles is this harvest energy of, you've planted the seeds, you've put in the time, you've nurtured the seeds, time, energy, effort, money, you've put that in, and now it's time to analyze that. However, we can't analyze something unless we acknowledge that something needs to be analyzed or looked at. So take that as it resonates with you. And if you're not seeing yourself in this situation, please don't make it fit. I feel like this is very specific for somebody out there. And you'll have to let me know if this is resonating at all, because this is to me, it feels very difficult. Even though on this, this is the only card that makes me feel really happy and loving and lovely. And that could be your energy. But I almost get the feeling that you've put in some effort in this particular connection or situation, and you kind of know that, okay, it should be in a different place than it is. And that's why the Seven of Pentacles is important to, especially when it gets upright, is that it allows us to do that analysis and allows us to be able to refine the process and to adjust where we put our time, energy, effort, and if it's going to bear fruit, whatever we're putting that time, energy, effort into. And the Nine of Wands is kind of that stopping point of taking a step back to also look around and see what it is, that making sure that what we are putting our effort into is getting us to where we need to be, or are we just putting our time, energy, effort, and throwing it into an empty well? So, Soul Path 1, my goodness. You're dealing with a lot. And I just want to point out, because we're talking about expansion and growth, and on these cards is an Adalis. I think that's how you call it, what you call it. And I'm not sure specifically what creature is inside, but when you do a cross-section of this particular shell, I think that was coming out. When you do a cross-section of this shell, that's what it looks like. And when I looked this up to understand this a little bit more, the reason why these little chambers exist is because whenever this little creature that's inside, that's growing, outgrows the little chamber, it opens itself up into a new chamber, a bigger chamber, and closes or seals the door behind it, so it has room to grow and expand and get a little bigger. And I don't know what that process is like, and I don't know too much more about it, but I thought it was cool because I didn't understand how these shells were made until I looked it up. And so that's kind of a neat analogy to opening ourselves to that expansion and growth, is when we're stepping into kind of a bigger fishbowl, we're going to feel really uncomfortable, maybe even intimidated because it's somewhere new. But once we start growing a little bit within the new space, it's like, and also to close the door behind us to never go back to that, but integrating what we've learned, what we've understood about ourselves and the situation, then we can really open ourselves up into this new zone of comfort. Okay, so take this as it resonates, my dear soul path number 1. But we have a girl walking on a bridge towards a door, and it's almost like this is the expansion and growth that's happening, is that you are coming up to a door that needs to be opened and then closed when you're on the other side of it. So time to go, meaning I don't know if it's time to go from the relationship or time for the relationship to expand or grow beyond where it's at right now, because it could be in a stage where it's still in that immature phase or that young phase, and you might be looking to push it into a deeper level of connection or a more committed connection. And so what does that look like for you? What does that look like for the other person? But I feel like there is a moment in the upcoming future here where there will be a point that you need to make some kind of decision. And the fates, which is understanding what you can and cannot control, while also, this is a very, I don't know if you've seen this in my last, I don't know when it was, a couple weeks ago, I did a reading and this came out, and this girl is very confident, self-assured. She's giving herself the love that she needs, the moment that she needs to make herself feel good. And both of these have fairy wings, so that could be significant for somebody out there. And both of them have stars in the cards as well. So stars could be a symbol for you, an important symbol for you, as well as fairies. But this girl is giving herself the love that she needs and desires, and she's almost letting go of the idea of what things should look like, where she should be, letting go of control of the outcome of the results, and going with the flow of where the universe is taking her. And that's not to say to ignore or forget or to completely give up, but to observe and to allow fate to unfold. And yeah, so there's a bit of a surrender here, and when there's a surrender of control of the outcome and the results, you can kind of get back into the present moment of what is. What is it you need? What is it? Where is it that you want to go? And start dreaming of those opportunities and those moments of what's next, and strengthening your spiritual body, implementing practices that make you feel good and comforted. Not to avoid, not to ignore, but to bring yourself ease in difficult times, and strengthening your spirituality and your sense of self outside of any connections will help you navigate those challenges and adversities in those connections in the future, because you're going to really know and understand yourself and not be pulled or, pulled in a direction that you know that is not right for you, which takes a lot of strength and it takes a lot of courage. I feel that something that is, in the end, is kind of what's expanding and growing in your life is your courage, your strength, your internal strength, your spiritual strength, your confidence to do difficult things. So this is what I have for you, Soul Path 1. I hope you found some clarity and guidance today, and with gratitude, I'm sending you my love, and we'll see you in your next reading. Hello, Soul Path 2. Welcome to your reading. So you chose the red carnelian stone with the Steampunk Tarot. We'll just give these a spin, and then we'll get into... Actually, before we get into this, let's get an opening energy for you and see where you're at. Or see what is expanding and growing in your life for Soul Path 2, Spirit. Soul Path 2. One card to open their reading. Soul Path 2. Okay, so we have the Two of Pentacles here, which we've got movement, choices, and decisions to make. So right before the threes, and threes are all about that expansive energy, we have the twos. And so I think what Spirit wants you to consider at this time is how your choices and the things you are initiating or taking action on or deciding on at this time, how that is playing into your expansion and growth that you'd like to see in your life. And the Two of Pentacles is an energy of really balancing things, really juggling things, whether it's work and play or whether it's work and friends, two jobs, balancing a couple of different things here. So you could be making considerations between two different things or deciding on two different things at this time. And so this is a moment to contemplate some decisions, to contemplate your actions and how those play into the expansion and growth in your life. So let's take a peek now at the tarot. We'll get 4 cards. Thank you. 3 more, Spirit. 3 more for Soul Path 2. What is expanding and growing in their life? What is expanding and growing in their life? One more, please. One more. One more, please, Spirit. Okay. And we have the Ten of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Okay, Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So you're not, maybe you're feeling a little bit of a bad luck. You've got some bad luck here. Hanged Man in reverse with the Ten of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands in the upright with the Ten of Swords in the upright at the bottom of the deck here. So there's a feeling that something has come to a bit of a painful end. I don't know if that's a job. I don't know if that's a way of thinking. I don't know if that is a friendship, something in the family, something within your relationship. But something has come to a close. There's a close of a chapter here, a close of a cycle. And there's some big changes on the horizon because of that ending. And I think what ultimately this is about is the things that you want to commit to in your life, the things that you really value. And so maybe your values have come into question and you're really making changes regarding that. And the Wheel of Fortune, interestingly enough, in the upright and reverse, can speak to the choices that we make that determine our fate. And that is a little bit different than destiny because destiny is predetermined by the Akashic records or the universe, what we are here to what we're here to do, what our purpose is, and that is kind of written in the stars, if you will. Whereas fate is all based on our choices, our decisions, our actions, our reactions. And so I think Spirit really wants you to contemplate, especially when it comes time to things not going right, things coming to an end, and things not really going your way. I have a feeling that things are just not going your way at this time. There's a feeling of, I just can't break free from this. There's maybe some bad luck that you've experienced, and you really want to build something up. You really want to find some momentum and see the rewards for all of your hard work, for all of the things you fought for all of the challenges you have overcome, and the adversity that you've faced. However, this Hanged Man is really standing out to me. And I just noticed we have another 10 here. And we have another 10 here. So you have many 10s. And the major arcana, these are big shifts, changes, events. And you have 2 of those. So something has come to an end point. And I don't think that it's a relationship. I have a feeling this has to do with job, business, career. Something regarding what you are building in your life. What you are putting your time, energy, and money into. That could be investments, that could be a business that you're trying to build. You really want to establish something solid for yourself, something that can sustain you for the long term. But I have a feeling that you're still in this, maybe the young stages of it, or maybe you've reached the end of something and it can no longer go any further than here. So maybe that's why decisions have to be made at this time so that you can get to this 10 of Pentacles energy and come into an energy of really loving what you're doing and willing to stand up and fight and have the energy and willpower to persevere in the face of challenge. I think that whatever you have been doing up to this point may have been quite mentally exhausting for you. And so some challenges or some choices have to be made, because I feel like whatever this is, you might not be able to move any further than where you are. And that might be quite disappointing, because maybe you had an idea, a big dream for it, and it's just not working. It's just not turning out the way you wanted it. You've put a lot of effort into it, but it's not bringing you this 10 of Pentacles energy. But this is your desire to get here, to have something that you can commit to in the long term, to have something that you can make money in your sleep. And you can work harder, work smarter, not harder. But things have taken a bit of a turn, I feel. And don't worry, this too is temporary. So any bad luck, anything that you are feeling is not feeling right or upside down or going sideways, this too shall pass. And I feel like in this moment where things aren't quite right and you're having to make these choices and decisions, it's time to not worry about what other people think at this time. What are the kind of the logical ways to move out of it? I think that'll help, but I think that there is an enlightenment, a moment of gaining wisdom that is a little deeper than the surface level to-dos. I think there's something in this. You might even be experience a delay in seeing results, because there's something here that you need to learn, understand, gain wisdom on, seek knowledge about. But you have to let go of the plan, the process, the ideal, the outcome, the results. There's some kind of surrender that needs to happen, and that does not mean give up. Surrender does not mean let go of everything and just let things play out. Surrender is not forcing a certain way, not of letting go of the things that should be done and should happen at a certain time. So this is still fighting for what you want, but approaching it in a way that's a little more inspired, a little more flexible. And this is, this is Jupiter energy, the Wheel of Fortune. And Jupiter is all about the expansive energy, about growth. And that's why things change, is keep us on our toes, to keep us learning, to keep us adapting and changing, just like the seasons. So we can't expect things to be the same forever, but that's also the beauty in it, is that whenever we're up against rotten times, know that this too will change. So I feel like in this moment where we have no control over the outcome, we have no control of our destiny at this time, we do have control over our choices and the things that we decide to do, and what we choose as our next action. And those, I think, are the things that need to be analyzed in this Hanged Man energy, where things are delayed, things are not moving, things are going in a bad way or going sideways or not feeling great. How can we find a different approach, a different way of doing things? Letting go of the idea of what we thought it was and should be, and step into something that, what could it be? And what else is there? I'm getting a feeling of possibilities here. Like there's an Ace of Swords energy here. So with that, let's get into some clarifiers now. Spirit, clarify this Wheel of Fortune, please, in reverse. Clarify the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And it flew off the table. One sec. We have the Fool. See? It is a change for the better. And it's going to require you to take a little bit of a risk here, to get a little adventurous. And I love how this card flew off the table as if it's telling you to take a leap. This is the beauty in the Wheel of Fortune, when things change, is that we might not be able to go back to the way we've done it before, the status quo, but that's opening us up to something brand new, something exciting. I'm getting goosebumps. So I have a feeling that it's good, whatever it is. Hanged Man in reverse. Let's see what's this about. Hanged Man in reverse. Yeah, just like the Hanged Man, we're experiencing delays. Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so this is about your internal processes. This is perfected work, the Eight of Pentacles in the upright. This is something that this is skillful energy. So when it pertains to a job, a business, a career, this is something where when we're going to school, we learn, and then we do, and then we make mistakes, and then we adjust, and then we do it over and over and over again until such time where we become masters at our craft. However, in the reverse position, this is either avoidance of doing that work, or this is internal work that we need to do to perfect how we are showing up, to perfect our processes, to perfect to master something within self. And so I feel like this is you gaining some enlightenment on what you can change within you to change the external outcome, the results of your situation. Ten of Pentacles. And I feel like it's very deep work. It could be, I don't know, your habits. It could be the actual, I don't know, your business processes or policies. It could be what you're working towards, maybe your values and beliefs, and is that aligned with what you're doing as a business or career or job? Your personal values and beliefs. Ten of Pentacles is clarified by the Star in reverse. Ah, okay. So do you feel worthy of this Ten of Pentacles? When we think about wealth, or when you think about wealth, wealth meaning great health, comfortable home, money in the bank to not only pay the bills, but maybe have some extra to either share with friends or put some away, maybe have a family, go on vacation, whatever your wealth looks like and abundance looks like. Do you feel hopeful about that future? Do you feel like you deserve that future? Do you feel like you've earned that future? Do you feel like enough for that future? What I'm getting at here is the star in reverse tends to be a lack of hope, a lack of faith in yourself, in the process, in the situation. And that could very well be true. But it could also be that you don't have faith that you'll ever get to that end goal, that wealth, health, and abundance that you are seeking. So that could be something to look at here in the Hanged Man and the Eight of Pentacles energy of what you believe about yourself and your efforts, what you believe is achievable for yourself. And even if you don't feel that it's achievable, why? And can you build up to getting the skills that you need, to working on the mindset, to taking small steps towards that, regardless of the doubt, the fears, the discomfort? Because I feel you have it in you. And I say that because we're talking to, or about the Seven of Wands now. I think you'll find that. I think that's what's expanding in your life, is you're going to realize that this experience, even though it ended maybe abruptly, but maybe you saw it coming for a while, you're going to realize that this isn't the end. This is just the beginning. Ooh! That's good stuff, Soul Path 2. It's tough stuff, but it's good stuff. Seven of Wands, clarify, Spirit. And I think you're going to get a second wind here after you go through maybe some emotional processes. Seven of Wands. And again, I'm going to come back to that choice. There we go. We've got the Page of Cups. Coming back to the choices. You have a choice when things don't go right. You can internalize it and let it define your future and say, this is proof that I am this, that, and the other thing. Or you can use it as fuel, as motivation to overcome and push through. Maybe not right away, but eventually. To get curious, get playful, get exploratory. Have that childlike energy and that imagination to dream again, to be imaginative and not be afraid to explore the opportunities, the possibilities. And when a child is young, they have such large aspirations. I'm going to be an astronaut. I'm going to be a firefighter. And some of those kids actually end up being that. But them being children, they just have such a wild imagination and such an open-heartedness about their dreams that nothing in their mind can stop them. They don't think about all the stuff they have to be and all the stuff they have to do and all of the mountains they have to overcome. They just do things one step at a time and keep that dream alive. Take some risks as they get older and start to understand, yeah, I want to be an astronaut, so I'm going to immerse myself in all of that cosmic stuff. I'm going to read books. I'm going to watch movies and shows and go to science centers and learn, and then take classes and learn more and keep that dream going. And yeah, they might not end up in space in the end, but maybe they end up in some kind of offshoot related to that. And so that doesn't mean they haven't succeeded. They're still doing what they love. It's just in a different way and in a way they didn't expect. So it's kind of letting go of that rigidity a little bit and opening yourself up to possibilities. Because this Ten of Swords, they can be pretty fixed about, you know, what needs to happen, and it's very sharp energy. Very to the point energy. It has to be this way. We have to do that and work to this plan. And if we go off course, then we have failed. So I think Spirit wants you to take a different approach in order to see a little more expansion and growth in your life. And I think, or I feel, that the expansion and growth has to do with your wealth, health, and abundance, and your ability to know within you that you can achieve that, regardless of whatever circumstance you might be currently going through that might prove otherwise. This is about overcoming that, getting beyond that, and continuing with that dream. It might be on a new path. With the Page of Cups, they can speak to new pathways. And the Page of Cups kind of embodies all of the energy of the Ace of Cups, but it's taking action on that dream, on that imagination, on that creativity. So this is about the right next action that you can take, the right next choice, the right movement that will move you into the direction that you want to go, towards your legacy, towards your North Star, towards your dreams. Ooh, this is a pretty big energy, Soul Path 2. So we'll get 2 cards to end your reading today. And don't feel like, I have this underlying sense, so I'll say it, is don't be afraid to start again, to start in a new way, to start from, I don't want to say from scratch, because you're going to have experience under your belt, but starting on a new path. Again, taking a little bit of risk, calculated risk here. Stepping out on a limb, having a little bit of fun and adventure again. So yeah. Ooh, okay. So you have a leg up and you have poised as your final cards here. And so there could be, a couple of things. You could look for some help with this if you're struggling, and look to, I don't know, mentors, parents, teachers, other business owners, or people in your creative field or career field to give you a hand with working through this, to figure out what the next right action might be, what the next steps might be. This could also mean that somebody is coming in to help you. But I feel like you are poised in this to move in the direction that you want. You have the skills, you have the abilities, you have the talent, you have the education and knowledge. It's almost about regrounding yourself again. Grounding yourself back into those dreams, back into the hope and the faith that you maybe had when you first started out doing this thing that you were doing. I feel it's going to be done in a different way, but I do feel like you're really going to grow into this if you choose to do so. And this is having the confidence as well with the poised card. You're in this place very armed with wisdom, knowledge, experience. And a new phase is about to begin, I feel. And the Fool card is an indication of that. And you have every reason to feel confident. This is just the beginning, even though an ending might be here, saying, no, not this way. It's time to be redirected. It's time to go this way now. A new path has opened up. And what's interesting is that in the Poise card description, it talks about this is your destiny. This next path, this new path is part of your destiny. and your soul is smiling with joy as you align with a new truth. Wow, super neat soul path 2. I do hope you found some clarity and guidance in this reading today. And with gratitude, I'm sending you my love, and we'll see you in your next reading. Hello, Soul Path 3. Welcome to your reading. You chose the orange calcite stone with the Wild Reflections Tarot. And I'm just going to give these a quick spin. I don't know why I'm saying that tonight, but it feels right for some reason. And before we get into that, let's open your reading up with an oracle card. Spirit, we're speaking to pile 3, soul path 3. What is expanding and growing in their life? Oh, the balance card. So soul path 3 seemed to, in a reading that I did for June, pile number 3 for the June reading also got this card. Or was it pile 2? No, sorry, pile 2 in the June reading got this card. So if you're interested, there might be some messages in there for you. But I feel like balance is expanding and growing in your life. You could feel unbalanced at this time. You could feel like you're bringing things back into balance or trying to bring things back into balance. You were, I don't know, there's a feeling of protection as well. This is the Justice card in the traditional tarot, Libra energy. So being very diplomatic about things and being very, I don't know, there's also, a feeling of protection, like you're trying to protect the sense of balance. If you have it, you want to hang on to it. And this could have to do with relationships as well, because Libra rules the 7th house. So, interesting. Let's see what's going on. Soul Path 3. What is expanding and growing in Soul Path 3's life, dear Spirit? 4 cards, sorry. Oh, interesting. Soul Path 2 got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse as well. So let's see, 3 more, Spirit. I think those 2 are coming out. 1 more. Thanks. Okay. And we have 6 of Wands. So we have the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. We have the 6 of Cups in reverse. The Knight of Cups in reverse. Was this in reverse? I think it was in the upright. Oh gosh. Apologies. And Queen of Pentacles in the upright. I sometimes get carried away when there's multiple in reverse. And then the 6 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so I feel like you are feeling a little bit celebratory here. You might have an increased sense of, I don't know, increased visibility, increased acknowledgement, promotion at work, more views on social media, more people are celebrating you for something. You're getting recognized. And the 6 of Wands is an energy of somebody returning from battle. So you could be coming out of something that is quite difficult, that has been quite challenging up until this point, and you're finding a lot of reasons to celebrate. You're almost like bringing balance back in, regardless of whatever external situation is going on. It's like, no matter what, you are going to protect this energy when you find it. When you find this balance and harmony, you are going to protect it with all of your might. And you are going to celebrate it. You are going to have gratitude for it. You are going to welcome it in. So I feel like this gratitude and appreciation is really part of this expansion and growth that you're seeing. So continue to do that if you are. But I do feel the Wheel of Fortune in reverse with the Six of Cups in reverse. I think something in your past has kind of brought you a bit of not so great luck. This could be people from your past, relationships from your past. There's a sense of you maybe having some nostalgic memories about someone or something. It could be a romantic person. And maybe you're feeling like they're playing games. Maybe you feel like you're not seeing their true self. What's interesting about this is these two are in the upright. And so I almost get them as pairs. We've got the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. So there's a very mature, loving, giving, grounded energy here with the Queen of Pentacles, even a creative energy. And then there's the Knight of Cups, who's this smooth, suave, really kind of, it's a loving energy in their own way, but also immature. They follow their heart, but they almost follow their heart a little too blindly, in the sense where they can't see the red flags, they can't see the yellow flags, they just want to see everything happy and sunny. So looking at the world with rose-colored glasses. Yeah, that could be two people in the dynamic here. And this could be somebody from your past. This could even be a child that you are connected to, a teenager or a young adult who has the kind of the world at their fingertips and their heart on their sleeve. I don't know where that came from, but that just came to mind. Really sweet energy. So I don't really know if this is a relationship read or if this is a very mothering energy. So I get mother and child, and then something from the past has taken a turn. And maybe your inner child is being challenged at this time. So I feel like the young adult in your life may not need you as much as your inner child does. Interesting. There could be an emotional connection as well to somebody from your past that you met as a young adult. So if we're not looking at the dynamic of the Queen and the Knight, we could be looking at a dynamic of the Six of Cups in reverse and the Knight of Cups in reverse, or pardon me, in the upright. Where this person's from your past that I feel something needs to be let go of, or something needs to be brought into light, something needs to be healed, something... I feel we're going to have to get clarifiers now, because I'm not too sure what this is. I'm getting a couple of different dynamics. You'll have to let me know in the comment which one is speaking to you the most, but the Queen of Pentacles is all about luxury, in a sense, where they want to feel comfortable, they want to feel safe, they want to feel good in their home, they want to feel good in their body, they want to have money in the bank and feel security in all aspects of their life, which allows them to open up creatively. They're also a very, they take care of the people around them as well. But there's almost something kind of lingering on the outside. It's like you're not willing, you don't want to play games anymore. And so you're feeling like things are a little upside down. Like your fortune is taking a turn. And understand as well, with the Wheel of Fortune, it can also speak to destiny. And destiny is kind of written in the stars. It's kind of our soul's plan that we are born with, or so people say. You know, the Akashic records and things that we are here to learn and understand and integrate. But it's also can be about, well, especially this one, speaking to fate. It is about our choices and how our choices create our fate, our destination in certain aspects of our life. And how once we start making different decisions, and those are all based on how we feel inside and our reactions to things and our worthiness of self, once we start taking new actions that don't align with the old way of being, maybe our past self or the child that was hurt and felt unsafe in some way emotionally, once we move from a space of confidence and security and self-worth, then our fate changes. So also with the Wheel of Fortune, this is about this too shall pass. Whether things are good or bad, don't worry, it'll change. And just going back to those choices again, because it seems to be calling me here. When we make choices from a place of, I'm not worthy enough, I'm not confident, I need validation from the external world in order to feel good, in order to be successful, etc., whatever people are saying to themselves that aren't necessarily healthy or empowering, then we make choices and attract people and circumstances that kind of mirror that feeling of ourselves. So as soon as we start to change internally and come into our own sense of security, worthiness, safety, and know that we can create that ourselves, within ourselves, and in our world, regardless of the external, then all of a sudden our external starts to change. We start attracting new people, different circumstances, different situations, new opportunities, based on that higher level of self-worth. Because we're not going to settle for less anymore. So I almost think that, or wonder, is that what you're leaving behind? Interesting. Okay, let's get into some clarifiers. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Wheel of Fortune in reverse, please. Thank you. And we have, ooh, okay, the Devil. So, the Devil can be about what we attach ourselves to, who we attach ourselves to, and understanding that we have the power to detach from that at any given time. Now, these people are chained or tied up with a rope. Their eyes are blindfolded, but their hands are free to untether themselves. So this is technically by choice. They choose to participate in this. They think or assume that they have no way out or no way of removing themselves from the situation. But the Devil cannot feed itself. They cannot feed without your participation. So as soon as you take yourself out of that equation, it starts to lose its power. And so this is about analyzing, and maybe why this Wheel of Fortune is in reverse, is analyzing what you are attaching yourself to or are feeling attached to. And this could be anything from thought patterns to behaviors or habits. And this requires kind of you, it could either, these two people are blindfolded, so they're not seeing something. So I almost feel like you don't know, or maybe you do. Maybe this is an instinctive thing that you know, or maybe you're not quite seeing it yet, which is why the Wheel of Fortune is in the reverse, is that you have yet to come to this understanding of the things that you are attaching yourself to. And maybe that is the stories you tell about yourself to yourself. Maybe it's those habits that follow. Thoughts become things, right? So analyze those thoughts. Analyze those things where you feel stuck or trapped or held down or held back. And do you have a choice? Can you restore harmony or move away from those energies in any way, whether it's temporarily or permanently? Six of Cups. And I just got, you know, it's better to be with the devil you know. So maybe this is familiar for you. Maybe this is comfortable for you, even though it's not ideal, right? Maybe this is a pattern or an experience that you have, that you experienced growing up. Six of Cups. Okay. Spirit's being very cheeky right now. Very cheeky. We have the Two of Cups here. So we're speaking about nostalgia and connections to your past. And this speaks to relationships. Two of Cups could be relationship to self and distancing yourself from any past situations that are keeping you held back, held down, stuck in a trap, proverbial trap, and balancing the duality and coming back into harmony with oneself, one's life, or within the current relationship you're in to try to find a way to do that. This could even be a connection that you have, a new connection. But if it's not, I feel like you're growing into a healthier understanding of relationships, if anything. A balanced, harmonious way of being in relationships. Because I think I was kind of feeling a little warm when I was talking about something from your past, which is why your luck may not be where you want it to be, where it should be, where you feel it needs to be. Is because there's something from your past that is influencing your current situation. And I think you're starting to understand, or you're learning how to balance your masculine and feminine energies, how to be in a harmonious, balanced relationship and what that looks like, rather than base your understanding on what you experienced or observed in your past. And I love that the Two of Cups is here, because this is about harmony, and this is about that very same thing. And your ability to open up to people. You might not be able to do that at this time because of a certain situation. Knight of Cups. Let's see what that's about. The Knight of Cups. Moving in the direction of your heart. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, we have the Nine of Swords in reverse here. There is a worry or anxiety when it comes to moving in the direction of your heart. You're worried about what that might look like. Maybe that's a little foreign to you at this time. Maybe you have done things because you felt other people thought you should. Or maybe you felt pressured to do something. There's a hint of people pleasing in this, but I will say that there's a more grounded energy on the other side of that. And I think you're really coming into following your heart without worry, without doubt, without fear. I don't know much about chess, but to me, I think that's a checkmate, no? Somebody can confirm in the comments. But when something is a checkmate, it's like game over. So to me, it's like you're saying game over to that worry, that anxiety. And you're just going for wherever your heart is calling you to do. You are moving in the direction of your heart. You want to find this balance and stability without any ties, without any toxicity, without any obligations, or without any pressure. I'm getting a little emotional here, pardon me. And I think that this current situation is helping you do that. It's helping you grow into that, whether you know it or not. Let's clarify the Queen of Pentacles. Without any sacrifice is the word that I was trying to find there. I feel like you sacrificed a lot to be in a specific connection, and maybe you're realizing now how far down the garden path you are, how far away from your heart and soul you are. You could be somebody who also wears their heart on their sleeve, going back to that Knight of Cups. That could be part of who you are. And we have the Five of Swords. Yeah, so people aren't going to like this energy. I'm just going to say that right now. Where you're stepping into this, I don't give a I'm going to be happy, independent, creative, expressive, comfortable, safe, secure. I'm going to do that for myself and the people that I value the most, whether people like it or not. And so there is, and that could be part of why you're celebrating on the other side of this, because as soon as you step into that energy and stop leaning into the things that don't feel good for you and break ties from that, you could come up against some challenging, contentious energy here where people want to keep you down. People want to keep you in this energy of not necessarily control, but keeping you in a bit of a stuck place, because that's where they are. They can't see themselves beyond where they are, and they want company. As they say, misery loves company. And so they almost don't want to see you thrive, but I feel you're going to thrive anyway. And you're really, wow, I really feel my heart expanding right now, because I feel a sense of pride with this Queen of Pentacles. I sense a feeling of confidence that you're coming into, celebration, that you've really overcome some wild and weird stuff. And you did that all on your own. You did that because of your strength, because you followed your heart, because you wanted more for yourself, and you trusted and believed and had faith in that dream. You held on to that balance, that harmony, that sense of fairness and justice for yourself. You essentially rewrote the contract. I feel like this is kind of a hill to die on, if you will, to break free from this really crappy situation, is that you're okay to have this fight, because you know that on the other side, once it's done, it's all going to be looking up from there. And if you are a creative person, I think that's really going to open up your creativity, your expressiveness, your intuition, because you're no longer in survival mode. You're in thriving mode. And that is what I see you expanding and growing into, Soul Path 3. So, let's get an oracle card or two to end your reading. These have been pretty powerful readings tonight, I have to say. Oh, look. Oh, look. Soulmates. And do I dare say, I mean, I did kind of, when we talked about the Two of Cups, I did kind of say that a new relationship was incoming. So I think that might be a fair ways off, but it's here. So I don't know what's on the other side of this. Now, we have soulmates and a fork in the road. So that could be just an extended version or a shortened version of what we were talking about. This has something to do with a fork in the road regarding a soulmate that maybe you thought was a soulmate, but, didn't quite turn out that way. Or maybe with this Two of Cups, you are opening yourself up to attracting an actual soulmate that is not going to get you in this devil energy, that is going to open your heart and help you love again, help you find that balance and harmony again, help you be, I don't want to say help you be whole, because it's two wholes should come together. And I feel like that's what's happening here, is that you are creating yourself as whole, or recreating yourself as whole, so that when you come together with this other person, that it creates something so big and expansive that it's going to be definitely something to celebrate. But right now I feel like you're still at this fork in the road where, do I stay? Do I go? How do I stay, and how do I go? Which way to go? I don't know. There's lots going on, I feel. There's lots of directions to take this and lots of ways to go here. But I do feel like if you follow your heart, follow that intuition without doubting it, without worrying too much about it, that I feel you'll end up in a really good place. And it's not about, changing everything tomorrow. This is about the gradual, one step at a time, overcoming those battles one by one, discovering hints from your past that can inform your present, and feeling into what brings you balance, what brings you comfort, security, joy. So Soul Path 3, this is what I have for you. I hope you found some clarity and guidance. With gratitude, I'm sending you my love, and we'll see you in your next reading.